We're here with senior wrestler Justin Lister, Binghamton's Athlete of the Week for January 9th through the 15th. Justin recorded 2 big wins in dual matches against nationally 12th-ranked Oklahoma and number 5 Cornell, as the Bearcats took both those matches down to the wire. Justin is ranked number 7 in the nation at 157 pounds and has an 18-2 overall record and a perfect 10-0 record in dual matches. First off, Justin, can you talk a little bit about how crazy that week was last week? It was, I'm sure, a lot of emotions with 2 big opponents coming in, Oklahoma coming to the West Gym, and then, of course, the first ever dual match in the Event Center and televised against Cornell.
Coach Pat, he took that week as if it was like the national tournament. He tapered down with the training so our bodies felt good, and we were mentally relaxed. That was the biggest thing that he stressed. Facing competition that's that elite, it's important for you and everybody on the team to be relaxed. Enjoy the time being out there. Don't get all caught up and tense about who's ranked what. At the end of the day, you're both putting on the singlet. You're both tying on the same pair of shoes. You're not wrestling the singlet, and that's the biggest thing that this program has came across, because Binghamton, nobody knows Binghamton for wrestling, but they do now as of this week. And too many times, not experienced wrestlers get caught up in wrestling the big eye on the guy's chest, or the Oklahoma across the back of the singlet. And Coach preaches, they're just like us. We work just as hard as them. We deserve to win just as hard as them. And the biggest thing was the belief factor, and we truly believe that we belong in the top teams in the country. So this last week, it really didn't come to surprise for me, where we stood. It was definitely exciting to be that close, nip and tuck, but I really wish one of those 2 duels would have fell through, if not both.
Personally, you kept your great season going with 2 strong wins. I'd like to first talk about that Oklahoma match with 14th-ranked Matt Lester. You were down 5-4 in the third period, and he had riding time as well. Can you talk about what was going through your head late in that third period and how you managed to get that reversal and pick up the win right at the wire?
It goes along with believing, to win. I was actually feeling sorry for myself during that match. I had hurt my back earlier that week, and the kid was nasty on top, and I really just didn't want to move. My back was tightened up, but sometimes you just gotta bite your bottom lip and go to it. And I looked at the clock, I looked at the coaches, and they were like, "Come on, one time." So I stood up, gave him hell, and that I like to scramble, and that's what I created, and I usually come up on top, and I got a couple back points for a little bonus. So it was definitely exciting, and the necessity to score points was, in my head, and I was just like, it's got to be done. You got to find a way, and more times than not, I do.
You anticipating facing Cornell's 2-time reigning NCAA champion Kyle Dake on Sunday, but with both coaches juggling their lineup, obviously that never materialized. Can you talk about your preparation for the Cornell match in particular, thinking it was going to be Dake, and then what your mindset was taking the mat and obviously putting the punishment on your opponent from Cornell with that pin?
You train to be the best, and as of right now, Kyle Dake is the best at my weight, and that doesn't sit very well with me. So I put my blinders on, and I had a straight and narrow path for him, this Cornell meet, or dual meet, and things didn't follow through. It was a little weird at the weigh-ins. I was going to step on the scale than he was, and he said, "No, I'm going 65," and I was like, man, it is kind of, not so much anger, but, it's like a little buildup of anxiety, and I was a little bit mad at the time, but I went out there and I ended up wrestling a backup 49-pounder, and I wasn't typically nice when I turned him over, and pinned him, but it was kind of like a bittersweet feeling. It's good to get that pin in front of that crowd against that team, but it was here to get a win over number 1 Kyle Dake. My secret is I don't look at the schedule. I don't own one. I don't look at it, because the first 2 years when I was in the starting lineup, I got caught up in that. I was like, oh man, we got American next. We have Bloomsburg next, and it keeps going and going, and you beat yourself up, and I just don't even own a schedule. I don't look who we have. You know, it's in the back of my mind. Yeah, we got about this many more dual meets, this many more matches, but I take one match at a time. And it's just like at the national tournament when I was a sophomore. You take one match at a time and good things happen. Too many times people overlook, you know, a team like, say, us, Binghamton. Cornell overlooks us. And maybe we shouldn't have been that close to them. Nobody knows, but it's because they overlooked us. And if I don't want to be that person overlooking somebody, you know, maybe a lesser opponent supposedly on paper. I just take care of business when business is due. It's right then and there. I like pressure. I like being last time. I perform well under those circumstances, and I fuel off that. So, you know, I want to do something great, even more so than being a captain of this team. I mean, it's a breakthrough year for us, and I'm extremely proud of the way our freshmen, our you know, sophomores and juniors, and my partner Matt Kaler as the other senior, how we've came together. I mean, it's an individual sport, but it's a team sport, and I think we've got it down pretty well. Where if everyone takes care of their own business, the team aspect will, you know, fall into place. But I don't want it to end. I wish, you know, I had another year, but you know, life is life, and I'm gonna make the most of it while I can.
Well,